I mean, what do you want me to say? It's August and Final Fantasy VII is just around the corner, but we'll probably have to wait just a bit longer before we see Cloud and friends hit War of the Visions. We have Summer Kill Fae this week, we have Velrik, we have a global exclusive Velrik Vision card next week, and Ramirez, the Fryevia Vision card at some point, and Summer Elsorel, so all of this stuff is off script, and anytime Gumi goes off script, it's because they're throwing bait at you, because everything basically since the Unkillable Zazan has been here to bait you into using your Vizor before the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Looking around Reddit and my YouTube comments, it kinda seems like it's working. But stay strong, guys, and I do want to mention, if you're thinking about starting War of the Visions, don't wait for Final Fantasy VII. Now is a great time to get a head start on Vizor heading into the event. I have a test account that's about a week old, already with an EX Charlotte and over 30,000 Vizor saved up. If you're interested in the game, if you're thinking you're going to check it out for Final Fantasy VII, you're watching this video right now, do yourself a favor, start now, and you will be able to enjoy that event a lot more. Fall is beginning in War of the Visions. Do me a favor and fall onto the like and subscribe buttons below. First up, let's talk about Velrik, because that's an easy conversation. It's no. Just no. His kit isn't that innovative. There's a lot of ice units and non-ice units that already do everything that he does. He's non-limited. We have Final Fantasy VII just around the corner. How many reasons do I need to give you not to pull for Velrik? Barring some crazy boost from his vision card, I think he's an absolute pass. Summer Kill Fae, I think she's a pass for most accounts. It's not that she isn't great, but she is super low range. She's not a great standalone unit. She's essentially a Black Witch Helena counter. So if you already have a 120 EX more or Rain or other magic tank, that's even more reason to leave her alone. Otherwise, Bikini Kill Fae will pair extremely well in a physical light team with units like Rob or Warrior of Light, and of course, Yuna. Starlet Tryst, we have no idea what this is going to be as of the making of this video, so not much to talk about here. I imagine it will buff physical ice units, given Velrik is on the card, but so is Ramirez, so maybe we get more of a general buff from this card. So let's talk about Ramirez. She's an intriguing support unit. I love that she has Raise, Protect, and Shell and Kiraga on her sub-job. In battle, she'll perform probably a lot like Ayaka with the Time Mage and White Mage abilities, but you can also spec her as a Scholar, so for decent damage, I guess. If you have a strong Dark account, I could see her adding a lot of versatility to your Dark team for a variety of uses. Now, if you're a newer player without a strong support unit with Heals and Raise, she's a great start. Otherwise, for most players, she's not limited. Her EX isn't that much better than her 99, so she's a pass and slow build. The Fryevia Vision card, I mean, this thing's gonna come at some point, and we have a week to fill here, so why not? I threw it in here. I imagine it will be ice. It'll give Fryevia boosts. Given her kit, I would expect maybe to see some spirit buffs on this card. Since we don't have those for ice already. Likely this will be a great card for ice magic teams, so plan accordingly if you have a 120 Fryevia, Medina, or Sweetheart Solir. Summer Elsorel, and oh yeah, that's right, that's Jennifer Aniston, because Jen deserves this. She is the original waifu. At any rate, her element and kit will determine a lot about what we do with Summer Elsorel. Almost certainly she won't be Earth, Fire, or Light, since the other summer units already have those. I would think not Ice either, being flanked already by Velrik and Barret. So Lightning, Water, and Wind seem to be the frontrunners. Maybe we won't even get Elsorel, who knows. But I would be happy with a Jennifer Aniston collab instead. You guys know what you're looking for by now from Final Fantasy VII, or you should, because we've been talking about it for quite a few months. Tifa is free, Tifa is great. I think at a minimum, everyone should build her to at least level 99, if not only to collect extra shards for your other Final Fantasy VII units in the guild barracks, and then you can slow build her to 120. Who should be 120ing her right away? Well, it's anyone with 2B. Seriously, anyone who has 2B, max out Tifa. They go together like hot wings and ranch, and just like hot wings, there are many different flavors that you can run for this duo. They can run as evasion, they can be physical bruisers, they can just be punchy. Tifa doesn't bring the wind element all of the way back, but she certainly helps. And if you're building Tifa right away, you're definitely building this Water Tower Vision card. That's the end of story. I'll let it sit on the screen for a little while longer, but there's really not much else to say here. If you build Tifa, get this card. Oh, Cloud, he's the best catch-all unit from this collab. I don't even think it's that controversial to say that. He's a plug-and-play, tank-busting, crit-dealing powerhouse who can work well in a variety of teams. He will pair well specifically with lightning units like Charlotte, Frederica, Nivlu, and Orlando, but he really does work in any team, not just lightning teams. The Guard Scorpion card is a great vision card for all lightning teams, even if you hate Cloud and his inability to pick a date at the Golden Saucer. This vision card is amazing for all lightning teams. If lightning is one of your elements, do yourself a favor, grab this card in Esper, even if you're not grabbing Cloud. If you are grabbing Cloud, this is a necessity. Aerith, he's a luxury. He's been pretty underwhelming in JP, pretty much because there's just so many good ice units and he kind of just blends in with the rest. He will be the tankiest ice unit, at least until Aranea comes out, but he really is just a luxury. Most people who have ice teams already have great ice teams, so I would only pull on this if you're a fan, and I can see how that's a problem, because who isn't a fan of Barrett from the 7 remake? Aerith, and I had her in the support when I did my tier list, but she definitely leans much more towards being a magic DPS. I have the note about Yuna on here, but I want to make it clear, she is not Yuna. Yuna is much more of a dedicated healer because of her raise and re-raise abilities. Aerith just kind of falls in a weird spot, and outside of super specific teams, it'll be difficult to slot her into your account in your top team. The Ice Devil Vision card, this is the Laswell Vision card. Any ice account, yes, just yes. This card isn't just Captain Insano for ice teams, it is Admiral Adama Insano for ice teams. And like we said last month, it's the House of Beowulf, Clairvoyant Astrologer, and Titan all packed into a single vision card for ice teams. I almost lean towards everybody grabbing this vision card because I really do think it's just that good. Gargus, I mean, I'm pretty much going to stop talking about selection quest units for free to play. If you have that much invested in your MR units that you can complete these events and get all of these shards and the mind spheres, you're probably spreading out your mats a little too much. If you can manage to beat these events and get everything you need to 120 these units, sure, some of them are decent and can help you through PvE stuff, but you will very rarely see anybody using these units in high PvP. So yeah, Vern is much of the same. I do think she's one of the better selection units and probably easier to obtain simply because of the quality of lightning MRs in War of the Visions, but I don't think she'll find a spot on many teams outside of raids and things like Tower. All of these selection quest units are being overplayed, and that's just my opinion. So now we get to talk about dress up Glaciella, and this is where JP got her, but I wouldn't say this is exactly guaranteed in global, but probably still a pretty good chance. Scholar and White Mage sub jobs, a magic DPS main job. She is an absolute terror, but you will need the Encounter of Heroes Vision card for her full magic damage potential. I personally think that she immediately outclasses Summer Kitone, basically in every single way. She's kind of halfway between Ayaka and Black Witch Helena, but without all of the same and amazing tools that all the dark units have. Ultimately, when she comes out, she will be a top tier magic DPS / support. She'll fill a similar role that Halloween Leela did when she came out, with a lot of magic DPS and that optional healing and raise abilities. You throw Mac Daddy Mont up front, dress up Glaciella in back, and you will have a nasty team. I think all accounts should consider pulling on at least the 9 step up if she comes to global. Jaden comes next, and again, he will be a top tier magic DPS if you have the right tools for him. This means Carbuncle and Bahamut will make full use of his kit. Paired with Yuna and a strong tank like Warrior of Light or King Mont, he definitely will be destructive. That said, he's not limited, and that's a pretty long list of tools that you need to bring out his full potential. For the vast majority of accounts, you're probably going to pass. Jaden's Vision card, I mean, it's pretty specific to him with the missile attack and dexterity bonuses. The AoE resistance is huge, but I just don't see this card being generally useful enough to chase for free to play. Maybe even if you got Jaden, I wouldn't go for this card. It's just very, very specific in my mind. Now, I love the design of this new unit, Varus, who we should be getting near the end of October. He's basically a samurai who scales damage with magic, so kind of like Howlet, but with a different weapon. He can put up HP barriers against magic, he has high spirit, and full life. Yes, full life on a sub job. His kit looks great, but until Wynn gets some of these OP vision cards that the other elements have, he'll probably just be suboptimal. Plus, he's non-limited, so not that impactful on release, plus non-limited probably equals a pass. At the end of October, we will get the Dark selection quest for Lamiga, I think that's how you say that, who's a Dark Strike unit. Selection quest, free to play, nothing really new in this kit. A lot of different damage types, I do like that, but overall to me, not really that exciting of a unit. Finally, I would expect EX Halloween Leela and Ryu to appear at the end of October around Halloween, probably with 2 new Halloween units if any of the past seasonal events are any indication. This would be a good reason to pass on both Jaden and Varus in my mind, as these will be limited units, the Halloween units that is, and they will all have highly viable kits. I've also included Oberon on here just so people know he's a cost 100 unit and this kid is good, and he's the earth element, which all of a sudden is looking pretty dang scary on the global server. In addition, I do want to mention, as most people already know by now, but Final Fantasy XV will be the next collaboration coming to War of the Visions after Final Fantasy VII. Prompto is free along with Noctis and Arania. Personally, I think she's the most interesting of the bunch, but with Zazan running amok in global, I'm sure Noctis will get plenty of play as well as his Vision card. We'll dive more into their kits in next month's guide. Lastly, the upcoming EX schedule, and the ones I would look out for on here would be Ruin Stern. He's going to jump right back into those dark teams in the meta. EX Laswell will be great, especially if you already have the +5 purple lightning sword for him. And the EX Victora, actually, this one right here is a dark horse for me, because I think if you plan to go for Arania from Final Fantasy XV, you can make a really strong Ice Pierce team. Also, at this point, I'm thinking that we'll have to wait until Christmas before we ever see EX on these winter units. Sorry guys, no opening your presents early. Anyway, that's it for August. Let me know in the comments section below what units you guys are looking forward to and what vision cards you guys are looking forward to. It seems like most free-to-play will just have to hop directly from Final Fantasy VII Remake to saving Vizor for Final Fantasy XV if you're into those units. I don't see that many vision cards that are necessities here in the next 3 months, except maybe Guard Scorpion and Ice Devil if you run those elements. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next time.